I'm about to say the most obvious shit you've heard all day. Dragon Ball is a lot of fun. And obviously you know this because if you didn't think it was a lot of fun, and if you didn't like the series at least a little bit, you probably wouldn't have clicked on this video. And sometimes Dragon Ball, and specifically Goku in the series, does things that are kind of mind-boggling and does things that really don't make a lot of sense. So on this video, I wanted to take some time to look at some of Goku's more, I guess the best word to use is ridiculous feats throughout all of Dragon Ball, into Z and even into Dragon Ball Super. So let's have some fun together looking back at some of the crazy shit that Goku's done throughout the years. Don't forget to punch that subscribe button and enable notifications so that you get every video that I upload right to your device, right when it goes up. And thank you for your continued support. So the other night I was on the phone with YouTuber Seth the Programmer, and we were talking about some of these crazy feats that Goku has accomplished throughout the series, and it's really nothing new. I mean, when you see Goku in Dragon Ball Super in his God form, you know, many people believe this guy has the ability to nuke a universe. I mean, this guy's just at such a high level of power. But even at the beginning of Dragon Ball, if you go all the way back to the beginning of the series, he's always done some stuff that's just mind-boggling. And of course, the first one I want to talk about is a manga exclusive one, which is when Goku broke the manga panel. Now, obviously, this is just a gag, and a lot of these that we're going to talk about are gags, but to me, it's still a pretty damn incredible feat that he was able to crack the manga panel. But moving forward in the series, the first one that we kind of see that's just crazy is Goku in both the anime and the manga. Way back when he was Kid Goku, before Super Saiyan transformations, before training with gods, before any of that stuff, Goku with the power pole, with the Nyoibo, was able to take the Rabbit Gang in Dragon Ball Episode 9 from Earth to the moon in minutes and come back. Now, if you were to take the actual distance in between the Earth and the moon, that's 238,900 miles. So Goku was able to travel 238,900 miles with the pole, which is actually kind of a huge, I would say, plot hole, even though it's a gag, because it took Goku longer to climb to Kami's palace with the same pole, but somehow he was able to go to the moon with the Rabbit Gang this quickly. Now, obviously you can sit there and say, well, in the Dragon Ball world, maybe the moon is not as far from the Earth as in our world, but there's no real evidence to support that. And plus, in that scene, Goku was able to do this and survive in space, breathe in space, if you want to say that, more so survive, without any problems. I mean, again, it's a gag, but it's crazy. Now, I'm no professional power scaler. That's not what I'm really known for on YouTube, is power scaling. But if Goku can do this kind of shit so young, it's kind of a trip as to how strong he got later on. I mean, don't forget, guys, that Roshi blew up the moon at the beginning of the series and still took the L to King Piccolo. So that means that the moon itself is actually weaker than Demon King Piccolo. So that's kind of a trip right there. In fact, the moon is weaker than a lot of freaking people, it seems, because it gets blown up so damn frequently. Now, another crazy thing that Goku did that nobody remembers is during his fight with Tenshinhan with Tien, Tien does the solar flare, otherwise known as the Taioken, and Goku is able to quickly dash over to Roshi and take his sunglasses and put them on. A lot of people have suspected that this is the moment when Goku proved he could move faster than the speed of light. Now, that's up for debate because the technique is not actually the speed of light at the point of execution, or at least prior to, but it's still pretty impressive that Goku was able to move so fast. Maybe he had his eyes closed, who knows, but it's still very impressive that he was able to do that. Now, not to mention another crazy one is in the anime, Goku, when he was training with Kami, is learning to dodge lightning. Now, you may be wondering, how fast is lightning? Well, lightning travels around 220,000 miles per hour, which is about 3,700 miles per second. So what that means is that Goku is able to move faster than 4,000 miles a second once he learns how to dodge lightning. So why the fuck did it take Goku so long to reach the end of Snake Way? Again, it's one of those things where Dragon Ball's goofy, you really can't overthink it, but yes, it could be considered an inconsistency. Now, moving forward, early in Dragon Ball Z, in the Namek arc, I would like you guys to revisit Dragon Ball Z episode 50. Now, before I go any further, I want to say that this episode is anime only. This did not happen in the manga, but it's still another example of a ridiculous Goku feat that is ridiculously over the top. So the story of the episode is that Goku's spaceship is damaged because of a meteorite that hit it, and he has to put on a spacesuit and actually go and try to make the repairs. Now, you have to understand, and this is explicitly stated, that at the beginning of the arc, King Kai, Kaio-sama, says that planet Namek is so far away that he cannot detect it. We know that planet Namek is not in the northern quadrant. It's not in the northern side of the universe. It's somewhere else. Some people think it's in the south. I mean, everybody has their own theory on that, but still, it's very far away. And the way that Dr. Briefs had redesigned Goku's ship, he would be able to get to Namek in 6 days. Now, you have to understand that in order for a ship to get from one side of the universe to another, and we do know for a fact that the Dragon Ball universe is a macroverse. It's gigantic. It's humongous. This is not like a smaller universe. It would take faster than speed of light travel. So you're telling me that Goku is able to walk around the top of the ship while it's moving at full speed, dodging quasars and fucking meteors and shooting kamehamehas into the sun, into a star, which is the same thing, and was able to successfully repair his ship. And of course, this is the result of him training in 20 times gravity, but the point is that if Goku is able to see everything moving so fast, Goku can see things at the speed of light, or actually significantly beyond the speed of light, even before he fought Frieza. But yet, there's an inconsistency, because when Goku fights Frieza, Kaio says he can't sense them fighting because of how fast they're moving. So that means that Goku and Frieza's fight was literally way beyond the speed of light. So those of you out there who are wondering, well, the 5-minute thing doesn't make any sense, and it really doesn't. If you factor in that the vast majority of Goku and Frieza's combat was hand-to-hand, significantly beyond the speed of light, then the 5-minute, conundrum actually makes a little bit more sense. But it still doesn't, because they took a lot of pauses to talk, and obviously in the manga it's a lot shorter, but these guys are fighting very fast, and the way it's portrayed in the anime, of course, is, slowed down for the viewer. It's more of a perspective type thing, which is why when you see Gotenks fighting Buu later on in the series, the 30-minute fusion seems to be a lot longer when you watch it based on the time of the episodes, but what they're doing is they're slowing down the fight for us to see, which works for some shots, but really does not work for others. It's just another, inconsistency. But as we go deeper into the series, and even into like GT and Super, and I don't want to hear about GT being canon or non-canon, that's besides the point of this video. We're talking about just crazy Goku feats, and when you get to this part of the series, they get crazier and crazier. For example, don't forget that GT Goku, when he got stuck in the Sugoroku space dimension, in his base form was able to shoot a Kamehameha and break the dimensional fabric. Now, we saw, Gotenks and Buu do this in DBZ. We actually see Goku do it here, because again, GT Goku's like really OP. And if you go even further into the series, GT Goku shook up the entire afterlife during his fight with Frieza and Cell in Hell during the Super 17 arc, and that is a feat that's unimaginable because everybody felt it. But Goku did do something very similar in the Fusion Reborn movie when he powered up to SS3. Now, when we go to Dragon Ball Super, things just get wackier and wackier. So, not only was Goku able to surpass the Tokitobashi during the Universe 6 tournament and actually somehow move faster than the time skip by anticipating the moves, in His second fight with Hit, Goku took it to a new level as he was able to actually break Hit's concentration and break his connection to the parallel worlds that he uses to travel through time. That's crazy enough, but what about the fact that Goku was able to single-handedly beat merged Zamasu in a beam struggle? A fused, merged Zamasu, he was able to win the beam struggle. Like, that right there is mind-boggling. But to me, one of the craziest feats that Goku ever did was at the end of Super Episode 67, Goku goes back to the future to go find the Omni King, and he goes to pick up Zeno in the void of nothingness because Zeno wiped out all the universes, and somehow Goku's able to travel to that plane of bizarre existence, is able to talk and grab the Omni King, pull him into the time machine in this space that I guess has no oxygen or any pressure or anything, and he's able to do that like nothing. And don't even forget that the next episode afterward, Goku went almost to the core of the Earth in Dragon Ball Super Episode 68 and was barely even breaking a sweat. So the point of this video is that even though Goku is not the strongest character in Dragon Ball, obviously Beerus, Whis, the Omni King, they are more powerful, he is one of the more powerful characters in anime because of all the ridiculous feats that he's done in the series. And always remember, when you're talking about this kind of stuff, never take Dragon Ball too seriously, because if you do take it too seriously, you'll end up pulling your hair out at some of the ridiculous feats that these characters can do. It's just a fun cartoon / anime that we should all enjoy. If you think I missed any crazy feats, please feel free to leave a comment down below. If you think that maybe I missed a couple of feats, definitely comment below and let me know which ones you think I missed that should be talked about, and maybe I'll come back and do a future video about them. Of course, subscribe if you have not. Thank you for watching, and here's some more videos to hopefully help cure your boredom.